The first time I saw that wave coming, it didn't feel real. It was like a massive wall of water charging at me. The sound was deafening, the wind sharp like a blade. When I let go of the tow rope handle, for a few seconds, it felt like I'd vanished from the world. There was nothing but that towering wall of water, the pressure, and the absolute silence of the abyss. If I had to describe what I lived in those waters with one sentence, it would be Nazare, the monster of the Atlantic.
Imagine standing on a board, going over 50 miles per hour, and in front of you a living wall of water, over 80 feet tall, crashing forward like the entire ocean collapsing on your head. Now imagine there's no way to stop. You either face it or disappear. This is the reality in Nazare, Portugal, where the ocean becomes a monster and surfing comes closer to survival than sport. Today you'll discover why this small fishing village became the stage for the biggest and deadliest in the waves on Earth. Nazare isn't just a beach with big waves. It's a brutal geological phenomenon. Just offshore lies the Nazare Canyon, a submarine trench over 3 miles deep and 130 miles long, channeling ocean energy like a pressurized tunnel, but filled with water. When a storm brews in the Atlantic and the swell is right, that energy charges straight into Nazare, and when it hits the shallow coastline, it detonates upward. The result? Waves the size of 8-story buildings, exploding just a few hundred feet from the sand. And that's where the real danger begins. Unlike other surf spots, Nazare has no safety zone. A wipeout here can leave you underwater for more than 40 seconds. That is, if the next wave doesn't come before you get your breath back. Riding a wave in Nazare isn't just about skill, it's a biological battle. When you're facing a wave, 60, 70, even 100 feet high, your body enters full alert mode. Adrenaline spikes, heart races, vision narrows. Time seems to slow down. If you fall, you have to stay calm while being tossed, twisted, and dragged deep below the surface. Some train breath holds, others use meditation, but all of them have one thing in common. They've learned to befriend fear. But what's behind it? Why would someone willingly walk into the heart of danger? Maybe because deep down, we all live with invisible abysses. Fear of failure, fear of not being enough, fear of living a life that's too small. In Nazare, fear is visible. It has form. It roars. It crashes. And facing it becomes a living metaphor. Some say, after Nazare, they were never the same. Not because of the glory, but because they met themselves in a place where almost no one has the courage to go. For centuries, local fishermen feared those waters. But in 2011, an American named Garrett McNamara took on the impossible. He was the first to ride one of Nazare's giants, and the footage of his descent went viral across the world. From that moment on, Nazare became the Everest of surf. Surfers came from Europe, Australia, South America, and especially from the US. Men and women chasing more than glory. They were chasing their own limits, like British surfer Andrew Cotton, who suffered major injuries there, or French athlete Justine Dupont, who was launched straight to the bottom by a monstrous wave and still came back for more. Behind every surfer, there's an entire operation worthy of a movie. Rescue jet skis on standby, pilots trained to dive into chaos and pull someone from death in seconds, radio teams, meteorologists studying every incoming swell, psychologists and coaches helping surfers keep their minds calm while everything else screams panic. No one enters Nazare alone. It takes a team to face the sea. Even with a full rescue team, when the surfer drops into a wave, they're alone. And in Nazare, what they wear can decide if they live or disappear. The boards used here aren't for tricks. They're not fast. They're not light. They're built to survive. Longer, thicker, reinforced to handle the speed and the impact. Each surfer wears an inflatable vest with CO2 cartridges that expand on command. Some vests carry 2, even 3 charges. Because in Nazare, one rescue isn't always enough. Some surfers even strap tiny oxygen canisters to their bodies, just in case they get stuck under for far too long. These canisters are no bigger than a water bottle, but they can buy precious seconds of air, just enough to stay conscious or to reach the surface with one last push. And the leash, the cord that ties board to body, it's thicker, more secure. But if it snaps, you're alone in a swirling pit of 70-foot walls with no flotation and no way out. Every detail matters, because in Nazare, even the gear is made to fight. Not to win, just to survive. But not everyone comes back. Over the years, Nazare has taken lives. Surfers who vanished in the impact. It's rare, but it happens. And each tragedy is a reminder. Here, a mistake doesn't cost points. It costs your life. That's why surfers wear inflatable vests, helmets, and are backed by rescue crews and jet skis at all times. Even then, nature doesn't ask permission. One of Nazare's most dramatic moments involved Brazilian surfer Maya Gabeira. In 2013, during a brutal wipeout, she lost consciousness underwater for several seconds. Her body was dragged down with a supernatural force, spinning through whirlpools and invisible currents. She almost died. Most people would quit, leave, never come back. But not Maya. She trained for years. She returned. And in 2020, she entered the Guinness Book after surfing the biggest wave ever ridden by a woman right there in Nazare. The sea that nearly took her life became the one that crowned her. Nazare has a heart, and it beats at the top of the cliff. Right there, where the lighthouse clings to the rocks, that's where everything converges. The sea, the wind, the fear, and the glory. It doesn't matter how many times the ocean has roared. It doesn't matter how many have fallen or how many have conquered. That place sees it all. From above, the cliff watches the ones who arrive and the ones who hesitate. Every wave that forms carries the stories of those who have fallen there, those who returned, and those who were never seen again. The sound of the wind isn't just wind, it's memory, it's a witness. And every surfer who stands at that edge knows Nazare isn't just a wave, it's a spirit that stares back at you. Nazare isn't just a location, it's a kind of wild cathedral where the ocean conducts its own ritual and men approach in silence, as if preparing to face the gods. During big wave season, this coastal town transforms into a modern-day sanctuary. There are no tickets, no grandstands, just a lighthouse atop the cliff, packed with people waiting to witness the impossible. Down below, there's no stage lighting, no microphones, only water, raw, immense, alive. The wind slaps the rocks. The wave roars like thunder, then comes absolute silence, just before the drop. And when the surfer stands, for one brief moment, time stops. It's like watching someone face death and come back alive. Maybe Nazare isn't just about waves. Maybe it's about confronting everything we try to avoid. Chaos, risk, uncertainty. What if fear isn't the enemy? What if it's the guide? In Nazare, fear doesn't freeze you. It shows you the way. And those who dare to follow it discover a kind of freedom most people will never know. The ocean doesn't want to kill you, but it's not going to save you either. It simply is. Vast, cold, unforgiving. And maybe that's exactly where the beauty lies, in facing something that doesn't care whether you survive. If this video kept you hooked until now, imagine what's next. Hit the like button, subscribe to World Explored, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming. And right now, another insane story is on your screen. Click it and join us on the wildest corners of the planet. See you there.